sometimes, or to just let him. He's going to fall, he's going to stumble, he's got to see it his own way, and to let him do that.
I like the idea that discipline is teaching and learning for themselves, letting them to a point where they're understanding themselves and how old they are.
Yes, absolutely.
Reinforcement.
Yeah, and I mean, with my kids like now, my son and I were talking this morning about him drinking and smoking and using drugs. And I said, you know, son, one day you're going to make a choice whether to do those or not. And he said, I'm not going to drink or smoke. And I said, and the drug part is amazing. What do you know? He just didn't mention that part. We kind of just joked. I said, well, you know, you're going to make a choice. And I said, that choice is going to be, I don't want him to be under I don't want him to feel that I am like his ruler. I'm his dad. And he's going to look to me as something. Now, he's going to eventually grow up, and will my son smoke? He's never seen me do it, but that doesn't mean he won't do it. Will he drink? He's never seen me do it, but does that mean he's going to do it? Will he swear? Well, I almost want to say he's never seen me do it. Let me see. Anyway, but the things, will he do those things? And ideally, that hopefully all of this talking makes something happen. That's going to be a process in part. Why would he do that? Because the whole point is, you want kids that aren't followers, you want them to be leaders.
We were at a ladies' event last week, and one of the topics was discipline. And I thought what was really neat was they put it in the perspective of, I was mistakes you wanted to come there, but think about our Father in heaven does not control our thoughts.
Exactly.
You know, just like we can't control our children's thoughts. And what a perfect time for them to make mistakes is at home, because then you can teach them God's way or the right way.
Now, is that after the bell, or?
No, I can't.
I will never spank.
Never spank?
Never.
Let me just ask your husband, is that a good thing or bad thing?
We had an argument when we first got married about spanking. We will never spank our kids. And she started babysitting, working at a daycare. She's like, okay, I can see points where
Well, and the question now is she spanked now? Go answer that. So I think, and did you talk to her a lot? Is that what you did, or? She just never did anything wrong? Was this a little perfect angel here?
She was a perfect angel.
Really? Just a little mama's girl, didn't do anything wrong.
I can say there's only one
Did you get over that? Did you talk about that? Oh. So, your relationship with her now? Close? Like you guys talk about stuff? You share everything with her? Don't look back. You share everything with her? Whatever you say, I'm just going to say, okay, do this or this.
Now that I'm married, our relationship's not up.
Now that you're married, it's closer? Okay. Before you were married, it wasn't that close?
Not as much because when I lived at home, my parents were divorced, so there's always that influence.
She was busy hiding the things that were going to disappoint her. That's why she only...
Yeah, either she was really good at that, or she... Well, and there are other dynamics, but you two maintain obviously some type of relationship that was close. You could talk to her pretty much about anything? She said, I don't know. Was she a cool mom?
No, because she would get embarrassed.
Would you get embarrassed?
Her friends thought I was cool.
Oh, did they? Oh, well then,
This is
okay.
bad.
Yeah, we're going to leave that alone then.
This is before Christian.
Yeah, okay.
You know, we can do everything
I'm sorry, I was just
right,
looking.
we can do everything right, we can do all the things that...
Wait, I just had to tell you something. I thought that was your feet. And I was going to say, how in the world are you doing that? I saw some feet go up and I thought, well, how are you sitting? All right, go ahead.
But we don't know how they're going to respond. We never know how they're going to respond. And sometimes we'll get a response from our children that we never expected.
That's true.
And things that they say that, where did that come from? you know, and then we have to deal with that and kind of process that too.
Yeah. And everything starts with good intentions. The whole desire was to get them to a point that they're going to be functioning and do
And when
well.
I was raising our children, when we were raising our children, we didn't have a lot of tools and things like that that people have now.
Right.
And there's a lot of things that we like this.
Well, we talk about it now, whereas before it really wasn't talked about. It was just what you did
No,
most.
we, as you said earlier, we did the best we knew how.
Yes. Yes.
We didn't have all these other little things that people have now to try to help them do a better job.
Exactly.
You know, like we had 1 or 2 family meetings in our house. You know?
That's more than some.
Well, yeah, well, you know, when I got into social work, I realized a few things that were different that I could have used instead of being.
Did you
know,
begin
more
to
of a
apply that?
controlling mother. Yeah, I tried to apply that. Yeah.
And see, now that probably was a big difference. We'll go another way. You had a.
The scary thing is when we look at it, we got one shot with these kids.
Right.
You think you honestly think you're trying to do what you think is right, and you hear some other things, then you question yourself, and then you hear maybe another little twist, and it's like, well, dude, did I just screw it up? Did I, you know, we won't know until they're older.
Exactly.
There's no chance. There's no turning
There's no
back.
right answer
So,
to that.
Right, well, but for none of it, not even parenting, there is not a right answer because some people that turn out, where the kids turn out great, they did it in spite of the parents. Some that had great parents that did a lot of stuff, hey, they just did some other things. I heard some really wild, there was a family that I was doing therapy with, and the daughter in the family made the statement that she started going down the wrong path because her parents shielded her from all that kind of stuff. She just didn't know about being poor, and so it was their fault. And they just thought, my gosh, what is she talking about? But that's, you know, what she thought. They tried to give everything, and I'm one of those from the old adage that I want my kids to have more than I had. I don't have a reason for that. That just comes out of my family trying to do the same for me. That's kind of silly when you think about it. Because why? It just makes them spoiled. So why am I doing it? Did you tell me to stop? All right, go ahead.
With the things that Chris just said, I guess for me, I don't want to feel as if I'm in control, because you're not. You know what I mean? So it's regardless of the decisions that you make, that if you're really pure in heart and you have a mind to serve Christ, that all those decisions that you make sort themselves out, because I know that He's faithful to come through with the things that He said He could. And in child rearing, it's the same scenario.
Exactly.
I know that the decisions I'm going to make mistakes. And I know that, and I'm not beyond that. But I know that my mistakes aren't limited to my physical actions, because God is bigger than physical. And so that whatever happens in the long run, with pure heart, pure motives, humbling ourselves, humbling our pride, our own self-pride, and making decisions based on Christ and biblical principles, we can't lose.
True. That's true. Well, and the Bible really has all things pertaining to life and godliness. It really does. And it's applying those principles is where we get in trouble. Not like spare the rod, spoil the child, it's out of context.
Yeah. You know, in the beginning when we were talking about discipline, you know, we were talking about all that stuff and the results and the mentality and the emotions that it can derive from a child. And I think one thing we have to be careful of is we don't limit the results of our child's life to those select moments in their childhood. Because hopefully that's a very small portion of their life with us. And it's the whole picture of what's going to develop in them. It's the whole picture of our life in their life.
That's true. That's true.
We live the life of Christ. They will follow.
Most of the time.
That's what it says in there. If they see,
Proverbs chapter
23:7.
Yeah.
The VIP, but
Oh, yeah. But I know what you mean. Well, and I say that because sometimes you have to still count free will in there. They hopefully will see this as a better way, but what if they see it as uncool?
But looking at it as patience of God, they might not see it right away.
Yeah, but they'll come back or have a prodigal son experience or...
It could be time 50, it could be 20,
Yeah, but as long as there's something there, I mean, that you did plant a seed and that's something